The Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, under commanding General YAHANNA, presents the Big 5-0. The 50th Annual Lord's Passover, Saturday, April 20th at sundown.
But I'm here to tell you one thing. Whatsoever right you got, you better go out, man, and do the will of the Most High like it has never been done before, and see the next brother God that's on the heart.
The 50th Annual Lord's Passover, Saturday, April 20th at sundown. Shalom.
Some of y'all may not have much understanding about it because you probably most likely you're a Christian and you never went into the Old Testament, man. But we're going to go into the Old Testament, man, and we're going to bring out this truth. Read.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7, verse 1. And Moses, with the elders of Israel, commanded the people, saying, keep all the commandments which I command you this day.
The people is the nation of Israel. Moses and the elders came to the people of Israel and told them what the Most High told them to do is to keep the commandments, man. Now, if you know anything about the Bible, actually, give me Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 1. The nation of Israel, we had to keep the commandments, and if we kept the commandments, there were certain things that we would get. And if we didn't keep the commandments, there were certain things would happen as well. The Jewish man, we're going to find out, hey, we're going to do it this way. We're going to find out if the so-called Jewish man match up with these curses in the Bible, man. Give me Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 1. Read that.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 1. And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high.
He'll set us on high, which means he'll set up to be rulers on the planet. Read.
Above all nations.
Above who?
All nations.
Above who?
All nations.
Above all nations. That's what happened if we keep the commandments that we were told to, man, in the nation when we had the land, back in the land. Give me Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 15.
Okay. Verse 15, but it shall come to pass if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
So this is what happened if we don't keep the laws of the Most High, and we celebrate Christmas and Halloween and the 4th of July and Thanksgiving, Thanksgiving, read.
To observe, to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I commanded thee this day, that all these curses,
all these what?
These curses,
all these what?
These curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
Give me 15. Now we're going to find out now when you read the Bible, right? We know the children of Israel in the land at that time, that we broke the laws. And the Lord threw us out. Now we're going to find out according to these curses is the so-called Jewish man who owned the Diamond District, the so-called Jewish man who owned Hollywood. We're going to find out if they pass, if they ever experiences these curses in the Bible. Give me Deuteronomy chapter 15, verse 32. Read that.
Verse 32. Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people.
Hey, did that ever happen to the so-called Jewish man? Somebody said, maybe it's some history, I don't know. I can tell you that who that happened to. I mean, am I telling you something that you don't already know?
Right.
Did the white man destroy 99 million so-called Negroes and 77 million Native Indians? And we ain't even gonna go down through South America in the Hispanic Islands, man. Hell, the white man doing it right now.
Right.
The white man will sell child protective services to your house and take your children.
That's right.
I'm lying? You think am I lying? Because you know I can prove it. Read that one more time.
Okay. Verse 32. Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people, and thy eyes shall look and fall with longing for them all the day long.
We look in our eyes long, man, when the white man steals your kids, man. Just the same way we did in slavery. The so-called Hispanic man on the border, they watch their children get taken, man.
Right.
And there was no fault of their own. Am I lying? I'll prove it. I'll prove it. Read that out.
ICE raids are separating families in America's heartland.
Read that again, the scripture you just read one more time.
Come on. Verse 32, thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people.
Another people, man. That another people is the so-called white man.
Right.
And he take our children in the same way he destroyed our kids in past times is the same way they destroy our children again, man.
Right.
They separate our families, man. Destroy our women, man. And the black man, he's left desolate.
Right.
And then turn around and say, look, he homeless. Look, he on drugs. Well, we want to find out who put him there.
Right.
Who took his resources, man? Who took his jobs? Like when the white man take jobs, he go to the black and Hispanic neighborhoods first.
Right.
Then you got to commute to their areas. If you wanted the so-called lucky black people to get the crumbs that are dropped on the ground. Keep reading now.
And thy eyes shall look and fall with the longing for them all the day long. And there shall be no might in thy hand. Verse 33. The fruit of thy land and all thy labors shall a nation which thou knowest not eat up. And thou shalt be only oppressed and crushed away.
Only oppressed, man, and crushed away, man. Like our fathers didn't, we didn't know the tongue of the white man.
Right.
We didn't know their ways, man. We had our own culture, man. We didn't deal with the devil, man.
Right.
We stayed clear, man, because we understood we couldn't build with the so-called white man within your gates. You think I'm lying? Because Christians say love everybody, like the brother just brought out. But ever since we've been loving white people, what have we ever had? Even a little bit that we've had, they dropped a bomb on it in 1920? Tulsa, Oklahoma? And you worried about Palestine? You've been dropping bombs on us.
Verse 34. So that thou shalt be mad for the sight of thine eyes which thou shalt see. Verse 35. The Lord shall smite thee in the knees and in the legs with a sore botch that cannot be healed from the sole of thy foot unto the top of thy head.
That can't be the so-called Jewish man. They got super insurance.
Right.
You'll be happy if you black, Hispanic, or Native American. You'll be happy to have any insurance.
Right.
You walk into the hospital, they take you straight to the radar room. They got a whole nother side just for the so-called white man that you will never get to see.
Right.
Is that the Jewish man we read in these scriptures? It can't be. So who's the Christian church? Why is the Christian church giving $4 billion to some imposters, man?
Right.
Answer that question for me, man. $4 billion to some imposters, man. Because the real Jews right here in America and abroad, through South America, through Cuba, Puerto Rico, Mexico, Jamaica. That's the real children of God. Who helping them? I can tell you who helping them, man. The I.S.U.P.K, man, under Commanding General YAHANNA, man.
Right.
Raising up the dead, man. Every Saturday, man. Teaching what the Christian church would never teach you, man. Give me Deuteronomy chapter 28 and 64, man.
Verse 64. And the Lord shall scatter thee among the people, from one end of the earth even unto the other.
Now I know that happened to our people. But I'm still waiting on somebody to tell me, when did the Jewish man get scattered across the earth? When did they get scattered across the earth? We're going to find out how we got scattered across the earth. Read on.
And there thou shalt serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone. Verse 65.
Wood and stone, man. That wooden cross and the sect of our brothers and sisters that think Islam is the way. They walk around and march and kill each other and kiss a rock that fell out of the sky.
Right.
Because Muhammad didn't know anything about anything until he hung out with Jews.
Right.
So now we serving a rock instead of serving the Most High power. Read.
Verse 65, and among these nations shalt thou find no ease.
We find no ease, man. You go in the hood, you got China shop, you got Arabs selling fried chicken. Like, Arabs ain't even known for fried chicken, but they just make money off of something we eat. They ain't even known for making chicken, man. But black people eat chicken, Hispanic people eat chicken. And instead of us having the shops, they got the shops.
Right.
The Asian man, he cutting up horse posing to this chicken.
Right.
Everybody, the African man, he'll sell you dashiki in a heartbeat. But at the end of the day, he call you a kata.
Right.
The nations, man, are what?
And among these nations shalt, Salakia, and among these nations shalt thou find no ease.
We find no ease with them, man.
The Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge under commanding General YAHANNA presents the Big 5-0. The 50th Annual Lord's Passover, Saturday, April 20th at sundown.
But I'm here to tell you one thing. Whatsoever right you got, you better go out, man, and do the will of the Most High like it has never been done before. And sing the next brother right that's on the heart.
The 50th Annual Lord's Passover, Saturday, April 20th at sundown.